presence, not just that. It's your presence, like, when it's really needed. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are going to be around each other a lot, probably, especially if you live together. But just to know when this person probably least expects someone to be there, but probably really needs someone to be there, especially someone like myself, where, like, I'm like, oh, I'm good, or, like, whatever. Like, people would not know if something is wrong. I know it's not good, whatever. But people wouldn't know. And it's like when I see a person reach out, or, like, sometimes, not always, because sometimes when I say I want my space, I really do want my space. But it's nice to, like, you have that best friend and you're like, oh, no, just the end of the day, like, I'm literally just tired. And they know that you've probably had a really crappy week. So they just show up and they bring you, like, a bottle of wine, or they say, hey, we're going to the movies, or when COVID wasn't happening. But, all of that, like, someone who adds that extra sprinkle of special, right? I feel like that's, like, really important in a relationship, in love. I feel like that's a key component of, like, you love someone when you're willing to pay attention that much more. You know what I mean? Like, you care enough. Love is just that extra dose of caring, right? If I'm making sense, I'm hoping all of this is coming together. I'm not great. Yeah, says the girl who has a podcast. I'm not great with, like, conveying what I'm trying to think in my mind out loud. Communication is not my strong suit in that way. It's not. So anyway, I feel like that's really important in a relationship. I feel like compatibility. You can be two totally different people. It's like, you have that key component this other person needs. I feel like that's good, but, like, only in the right way. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, you're not a very creative person. I'm creative, and, like, you need me to. Like, no. If you guys can build on each other's strengths and weaknesses, that's a beautiful thing as well. I feel like you do need that partnership, that teamwork. I mean, because honestly, like, life is hard, right? You have bills, you have things that come up in life with family, right? And it's like you look for that other person to push you through and get you through it. Because sometimes we tap out, right? We literally tap out, and it's like, okay, thank God I have this person who is, there when I don't even want to be there. So they kind of just keep you, someone who can keep you yourself. Some people someone who will push you out of your comfort zone is not always bad. Anyway, so these are things. I wonder if you guys think of this. I was reading a book. What's this book? Pastor Todd. Relationship Goals, I believe. I don't have my glasses on, and I'm looking across the way at the book. And I think that's what it says. But I was reading, and he, like, kind of mentioned a part. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but it's good so far. But he was mentioning a young lady who he sat down with, and she was just talking about, like, how she wasn't getting anywhere with, like, a relationship. I guess she had a list, right? And I asked a few people that I knew, I was like, have you ever had a list? And, like, they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh. I was like, so, like, have I been doing it wrong the whole time? Like, should I have had a list? I never had I don't know. I guess I had ideas in my head of, like, what I guess I would want in someone. I mean, who doesn't? But I never really, like, made a list of, like, what I actually need. Anyway, in the book, the girl's list was, like, I guess, ridiculous. And so, like, in the nicest way, he was like, yeah, so if you're waiting on a person based on, like, all of these boxes being checked, good luck. So I feel like it was like that. So I wonder if you guys have a list. Like, is that important? I guess for you to remind yourself what you would want, I think it may not be a bad idea. I don't think it's a good thing to have this list. It's like this sacred thing that has to be perfect or whatever. Like, you lose out on people that way, right? But if you remind yourself, because I feel like it's so easy to get into a situation with someone and like love is all good and great, but if you forget your standards, and everyone has standards, and I'm not just saying like to be like this bougie person or whatever. I'm just saying, like, literally, you have standards. Like, okay, I want someone who's going to be respectful. I am a person who was very much influenced by my grandparents, and I mean, they're older, so you know how that respect is, like, so as far as like respect, like, you have to be a respectful person. Like, someone who's just out here and just like life, like, no, like, I get it, I like to have fun too, but no, like, there's a time and a place for everything, and your elders, you are supposed to respect them. I may sound like I don't know what I may sound like, but hey, that's what it is. So any person of mine would have to be a respectful person, and that is what I teach Arden, and like any other child that I may have would know the same thing. Any younger child who I take under my wing, nieces, nephews, like just friends, a family, like that is just important to me, because you want someone to respect you. Everyone deserves respect. Now, we may get upset, things may happen, you are human, but there's still a way to maintain respect, and there's still a way to carry yourself. So that being said, stuff like that, you could really very much so enjoy this person, and this person may not be a respectful person. When you encounter different situations and go through different things with people, you learn so much about them, right? So you have to pay attention to that. And it's like, yeah, you try to overlook something for the greater good, or like you try to learn how to balance it all. But if you can't ignore what you see, right? That's another major thing. Please don't ignore what you see. If you see it, you hear it, and it happens more than once at least. Everybody gets the exception of one time, whatever. But if you see it happen more than once, it's probably a thing. You might want to explore that. You might want to have a conversation. You might want to see if that's something that's going to persist. And you really want to be honest with yourself to see if that's something that you would put up with. It could take the smallest things to break a bond. And that is terrible, right? If you have worked so hard to make this bond with someone, and then these things that you have not paid attention to before slowly start to seep into this bond and tear it apart, really, like from the outside, working its way in. That's terrible. It is a sad thing to see, because you work so hard, and you both think you have this special thing, right? And it's like, you never really did. Okay, I think I just like kind of like made everything very morbid. I don't know. It was terrible. Oh my gosh, it was really terrible. So basically, like, I don't know, guys, I feel like they're anyway, so I kind of need a moment getting my thoughts together. All right, so basically, don't ignore signs. It's a major thing. I feel like also adventure is a thing. I mean, I don't know. Everybody likes to do things, right? Even if not so much adventure, like, oh, you need to go skydiving. No. Knowing this person and know what they like, don't get to a point where you're selfish. Okay? You have a life and you get all caught up in things, but sometimes you have to push yourself to do those things that you don't normally do. If this means you're not a very athletic person, but you're a person like loves anything and everything athletic, like make it a thing to like go to whatever games, whatever like their favorite season of sports is, like buy season passes or something. Like you guys have to keep, I feel like keeping that connection and that spark is a major thing too. I feel like that's a big like downfall in a lot of relationships. Anyway, so to get back, like that, we're talking about love. I told you what I thought about love. What did we say? Or what did I say? Love, like companionship or like partnership, and trust. Trust. All right, so trust can be broken, right? I feel like when in a relationship, when you start to feel trust being broken, you need to figure out if you can regain that or not. You need to be honest with yourself, one another. If you need to take time to be honest with yourself, then do that. Don't just because you want to come up with an answer. Like, honestly be honest. Because it is crazy. I've seen movies, I've read books, I've read poems, I've seen things, I've bear witness to situations where the trust was broken and they loved each other so much. It's like you want to work through it, but the trust was broken if you were not able, both of you were not able to get through it. And it's even worse when one person is able to get through it and the other can't. Just be honest, literally, from that point. Like, because that other person, if the love is really there, they may be able to even help you through it. Tell them what you need to get through that, to gain that trust back. Like, don't just lie to yourself, because then it weakens and then you have no trust. And then things start to fall apart worse. I'm telling you guys. Anyway, trust. That's that part. So we're going to move on because I'm not a relationship guru, but these are just like conversations. I'm just curious to know what other people are thinking. But yeah, I feel like that those are major key things. So you have relationships, then you have dating. I feel like nowadays people are not into dating like how they should be. People do not take time with dating how they should. Dating is like a moment to cherish. It's really fun. You go out, you have fun, you do things. You can do like group dating, you bring your friends along, and this is not only, because people are all different ages trying to find love. People could have fallen out of love, divorces, 10-year relationships ruined. I don't know. People are focused on their career. And so now they're like 35 and like now you're trying to find love. So people are all these different ages, or you could be younger. You could be 18. You've just finished school and it's like you want to find your person, or you think you found your person, and you can start a family early. Like, everyone's different. It's fine. But you still need to take that time and just date. I feel like people don't do that enough. Even if you think you found your person, that's fine. Keep that person close. Just keep that person close and date. Make sure, I guess, is it a gamble if you keep that person close and then date and find someone and that person doesn't find someone and someone's hurt at the end, right? Or is it worth it? Because even if they're hurt in that moment, they'll get over it, but they'll find their person once they date a little longer. Maybe they just needed to date longer than what you did. But how terrible would it be for you to just not settle. You don't see it as settling, but it really is. Just so that, what? Then you get in a relationship and you're together for, let's say, 3 years. I don't know. And then you realize, maybe I should have just dated a little longer. We think we lied to ourselves and said that we're each other's person, and we're not. Anyway, there's that. But dating, like I told you, is so much different. And then you have, oh my goodness, marriage. So this is the thing where I'm not a relationship guru. How do you know? How do you know when it's appropriate for a marriage? Like, what what is it? I wonder